Hello, once again, I'm Bear Schultz, SP500. Thank you for joining me. It is May 9th, Friday. Markets are still up near the 5,700 level, and I'm still predicting a major low or macro low in markets around Father's Day 2025. So that's only a month and a half away. So some people are probably like, I don't even know if your first call is going to even make the boat, man. So as you know, I haven't changed my theme. Been calling Father's Day for some time now. And I think that, so I want to give you an update on the Great Depressions, the end of the Great Depression around Labor Day of 2034, as well as how that ties out with Bitcoin. So thank you for joining me. We only have about 277 weeks until the Great Depression starts, or the Great Depression window of 2031 through 2034. So thank you for joining me. Let's jump to the material. So first up, we have the Bitcoin 2-minute macro model. This is a peak model. Essentially, you're looking for peaks in it via 3 touch points. So you have a nice touch point out to early 21, where we saw a peak in Bitcoin. Then we have another 3 touch points out to early 2025. We saw a nice macro peak in Bitcoin there as well. And it is also peaking out a 1, 2, 3 out to the Super Bowl of 2028, if you will. And also, could that be December 31st of 2027? Sure, it could, right? But my guess is they're pretty closely tied. But yeah, it could definitely be like December 24th or, something just before Christmas. Bitcoin could hit its peak, or there's a Fed date maybe around there. It could be around there, right? So it could be very close to, it could peak a month before the stock market, right? Yeah, but anyways, what it's suggesting is that the macro peak, the first macro peak, or should I say the next macro peak in Bitcoin should be around Q1 2028. And then we should have another macro peak again around Labor Day of 2030, which, as you know from part 1 and 2 of my Great Depression videos, is calling for, that's the end of the bull market, the 30-year bull market, and then we have a giant Great Depression window ahead of us. And so I want to show you the bottom as well on the next chart with my weekly data from the S&P 500. I'm doing something different this time around. I'm going to do a GoFundMe gifting link / page for my 2031 through 2034 Great Depression forecast. So if you want to see the live gifting status, things of that nature, because I think some people want to see how much how much people have given to me over time. Obviously, if I were to hit every one of these calls correct with the Father's Day 2025 low, macro low, and then the macro high in markets around February of 2028, and then a bottom in markets around October, late summer 2028, or maybe even into March 2029, like a double bottom, and then a final macro peak into Labor Day of 2030 / Christmas of 2030, and then a Great Depression into the end of 2034. Obviously, with the help of someone's financial advisor, because I am not licensed in any way, shape, or form. Please seek the advice again of a licensed financial professional. If I were to hit all these calls correct and people were to benefit wildly off of my calls, I want to allow for people to gift and people can see kind of like how it goes into the end of 2034. So, maybe there's some big fish that end up really loving my timing, really making a lot of money off of it. I was going to put 340,000 out there, but, maybe there's a couple people that make huge money on crypto and they want to give me, $100,000 as a gift. I don't know. So I'm just kind of trying to bump up my prediction. I mean, if I were to hit every macro call right through the Great Depression, end of Great Depression, I think that would be $1 million call, honestly, or a $3.4 million call on the scale I'm at. Even though I'm more a smaller fish, I think that would still be beating all of Wall Street probably at this point in time before anyone else has come up with it. I would just want to go on record, obviously, and if I can outpace them, then I think someone might argue then your call is worth way more than 3.4 million, right? but I'll leave that to the viewer anyways. So, and plus that's getting ahead of myself. I have to still hit every call correct, right? So anyways, I'll leave the link below the video in the description. You can click on that. You can give that way. That's kind of what I'm going to be doing this time around with the Great Depression call. So I won't be doing a blog or anything. You can just watch my videos, part 1, part 2, and part 3. I figure that's a good fulfillment with 3 videos. And then obviously I could do a video maybe around February of 2028 or maybe Christmas of 2027, just to do an update, right? But I really believe that my calls, if they're accurate, really should be quite fun to watch the gifting through for the next 10 years, I believe. And again, I'm not sure, hopefully the gifts really help me as well, right? My goal is to hopefully pay off my house by the end of 2030. That's my aspiration, as well as maybe upgrade some of my vehicles, help support daycare, things like that. I've just had my 7th kid recently. So yeah, so anyways, if you're watching this in 2033, 2034, and you've averted a giant disaster in your finances because of hopefully the help of some of my work and speaking with a licensed professional, maybe you want to bless me or gift to me, because I've been able to help you so much. That'd be awesome, right? Maybe it's not how much you make off of the aid of my work, but maybe you averted a giant disaster, and you saved a few $1,000,000 or something if you're a big fish or something, and you want to say thanks some way somehow. So yeah, hopefully you're enjoying this in 2030 through 2034, and hopefully the calls are spot on. So let's keep moving on. This is weekly data in my Gold Wave model. The Gold Wave is a little different on this model, but it's weekly data. And so essentially you have 3 touch points from the low in 2003, 2008, 9, and then this one's from 2022. You have 3 touch points. And basically it's saying that there's a full reset out at the end of 2034, which is Labor Day, or September of 2034 is where I believe that the market finally hits its final macro low on the Great Depression of 2031 through 2034. So again, we'd have a macro bottom in the markets in a month and a half right from now. So it's kind of a big call because markets have been strong. Probably a few people think that I've missed the boat, missed the call, but I still ascribe to some kind of macro low in the markets around June 12th through Father's Day, so that mid-June time frame. And then should be another macro low again at the end of 28 or early 29, and then the final macro low should be at the end of 2034, around Labor Day of 2034. Again, with peaks around Super Bowl of 2028, and the final peak in markets around Labor Day of 2030. So hopefully these 3 videos age extremely well. That's my hope and prayer. And I'm leaving this in the Lord's hands and seeing how He wants to bless me over the next 10 years. If this truly is a gift from the Lord, I pray that that everything is spot on and more accurate than I could ever hope. That anyone could ever hope with a 10-year call like this. So hopefully it helps quite a few people, and again, hopefully with the help of a licensed financial professional, which I am not licensed in any way, shape, or form, many are able to benefit from this timing, macro timing. Hopefully it's highly accurate, and that's my alarm going off. And hopefully the next 10 years, this timing is able to steer many through safely, again through the counsel and advice of a licensed financial professional. Until next time, I'm BR Schultz, SP500. Take care and God bless.